Armenia grade again. Because Armenia is a decent faction in vanilla Rome, but they're not one of the tougher factions, but I think they're going to be now, because I have taken units from the Sassanid faction in Rome Total War Barbarian Invasion and reskinned them as Armenians. So this Armenia is a lot different than the vanilla Rome, and I think it's going to be a lot more competitive. Here is King Tigran here on his horse. The Romans wrote, Plutarch and others, that the Armenians had the best cavalry in the world, not just for what they could do on the battlefield, but also for their the beauty of their horses and their armor. The Romans really admired them. This unit is Clibanarii Bodyguard. I think they're called Clibanarii Immortals in Barbarian Invasion. They're the toughest bodyguard unit in the game. They're archers. They have skirmish ability, and they are fast moving, but they're also on cataphracts, so they're really tough. They're really expensive, 1,700 denarii, and they fight with an axe as a secondary weapon. This unit is the standard spear-armed, lance-armed cataphracts. They're a lot tougher than the cataphracts are in vanilla Rome. In vanilla Rome, all the cataphracts have the same stats. Seleucids, Armenians, and Parthians, I think they all cost the same too. But that's not going to be that way in my mod. All of the cataphracts will be different. So these are more expensive than what the Armenians would have in vanilla Rome, but they're a lot tougher also. And this unit, these are cataphract Clibanarii. They're much tougher than the archer cataphracts that are in vanilla Rome for Armenia. They fight with a mace as a secondary weapon, so more expensive and tougher. And one thing I noticed when I was testing them that I never noticed when playing BI, I mean, I really don't play BI very often, but if you order them to fire on a target, they'll fire one volley of arrows, and then they'll charge in with their maces. I never noticed that before. And these are Nomad Archer Cavalry. They're probably at 300, I think, more denarii than the cheaper cavalry archers. But they're better. They got better stats than the standard Eastern archers. And for missile support, we also have Mountain Slingers. So these guys have the same stats as they do in Barbarian Invasion. They will have longer range because I'm giving all slingers in my mod longer range. That's the way it was in real life. And also in Rome 2 they got that right. So now this mod will have vanilla archers with longer range. I mean vanilla slingers with longer range than vanilla archers. These are Armenian archers, but they're called, I think, desert archers in BI. Better stats than the Eastern archers, but also more expensive. Really everything in this faction is way more expensive than what they are in vanilla Rome for Armenia. And these are Armenian macemen. They're called, I don't remember what they're called for the Sassanids in BI, but they have a tough infantry unit that fights with a mace, and so these have the same stats as those guys do. They just look like Armenians, because Armenians fought with maces also. They were into clubs and maces and axes, all that kind of shit. So this is a vanilla unit, the heavy spearmen. I reskinned them. but they have the exact same stats as they do in vanilla. And this unit also is from vanilla. These are the Legionaries, but I reskinned them as Armenian Axemen, so they kind of represent the average soldier, the levied soldiers that were kind of rounded up and brought to the battle. Their stats are the same as the Legionnaires for Armenia, which means they're not that tough. But one thing that will make them a little better is I gave them more men per unit. So in a standard 31k game, they would have 80 men on large scale. But in my mod, they're going to have 100. So that's all I got for Armenia right now. But it's going to be a lot stronger faction than they are in vanilla. So, MAGA.